Hello fam, so on today's episode we're going to make this delicious meat pie recipe. Let's go. I used 1.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then this about 1/4 of a butter. I'm going to mix everything together till they are mixed very well. I'm then going to add some water. I'll leave the measurements I used in the description box, so do check it out. So I'm going to be mixing this till I get a consistent dough. You can keep adding the water till you think the consistency is enough for you, but then don't add the water as you go, because if it's too much it will become very soft. Keep adding it slowly till you get the consistency that you want. This looks perfect for me. I'm not going to add any more water at this point. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to take it from the bowl onto a surface or a wooden board and then knead it for a few minutes before I set it aside and move on to the filling. It's okay for me. I'm going to cover it with a cling film. You can also set it aside in the refrigerator for it to cool a bit, or just keep it somewhere as you prep the ingredients for the filling. So I kept mine aside for about 30-45 minutes. It depends on you and then how much time you have. So now for the ingredients for the filling, I'm going to use some potatoes, I'm going to use some minced beef, and then some carrots. I've chopped them already so I don't waste too much time working on it. I'm also going to use some chopped onions. And then the final ingredient is going to be corn flour slurry. So it's just water and corn flour mixed together, and then some seasoning and then salt. I'm going to start by pouring some oil into my pan before I transfer my chopped onions and fry that for a few minutes to saute it and release the flavor into the oil. I'm then going to add my minced meat into the mixture and then stir that very well. Give it a good stir. Next, I'm going to add my seasoning to the mixture. I added some seasoning cube and then some barbecue spice for extra flavor. It's looking so beautiful already. Just give it a good stir and then proceed to add your vegetables. The vegetables I use are very optional. You can use the ones you want. I had these 3 available and that's what I wanted to use. So I added in some carrots. You can decide to chop them in any shape or size that you want. This is how I wanted mine. I also added some potatoes. I decided to also chop them in this way. add the corn flour slurry, don't forget to add some water so that the vegetables and the meat can cook properly. So the water also depends on how thick you want it, but don't overdo it so that it doesn't become too watery. Just a bit of water, you stir everything, you cover for about 5 minutes, and then it's ready. We are finally ready to start prepping our dough for our filling. So I have a portion of the dough. I'm going to roll this. Don't forget to always add some flour to your rolling pin so that it doesn't get attached to the dough. So I'm going to roll this very flat on the surface so that I'll be able to cut out my hole and then put in the filling. All that you need for cutting out the shape is any round object. That is if you want to go for the regular meat pie shape, but you can do it in different forms. If you want to make it square or you want to make it triangle or rectangle, any shape that you want, you can use different objects to cut it. I wanted a round one, so I used this round bowl I had at home. Now this is my filling. It's looking so beautiful. I've added it to the dough, and then I'm going to go ahead and then shape it out into the meat pie regular shapes. Also be careful not to overfill the dough so that it doesn't come spilling out. You need to leave enough room around the edges so that you can cover it well and it wouldn't come out. So I'm using my fork here to create the shape and to seal the dough so that the filling doesn't come out and it's well secured. So you're going to keep doing this and filling the dough with the filling till you're done with all the pies that you have. So as I said, don't overpack it so that it's not difficult to seal it when you are done. The next thing we're going to do is to come in with our egg wash and then to gently coat the surface of the pie. This is going to give it that beautiful glow that you see when it's done. So I just use regular egg and I just whisk it, and that is what I am using for the meat pie. Finally, we are going to get ready to bake our meat pies, and I'm going to put the meat pie in my oven for about 180 degrees, so about 15 minutes. That's what I used, but you can use what suits your preference, and it depends on the kind of oven that you're also using. I was also checking on it intermittently because it's the first time I was using the oven and I wanted to make sure it didn't burn. So at the end of the day, this is what we have. It's looking so beautiful and the taste was so amazing. It was so delicious, and I hope you guys will try this recipe. Don't forget to like, comment and share and subscribe if you are new here. See you another time.